Bulb Club presents how an Australian floating hotel ended up abandoned in North Korea. In October 2019, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ordered the demolition of the world's first floating hotel, docked in North Korea. It was originally made for Australia, designed in Sweden, built in Singapore, but ended up in North Korea. So, let's get inside the story of how it ended in North Korea. Doug Tarka wanted to put a hotel on the Great Barrier Reef to attract tourists from around the world. It was originally planned to permanently moor 3 cruise ships in situ, but this was later rejected as being too impracticable. After a chance encounter with a Swedish company that built floating dorms for oil rigs, a new plan was hatched to build a floating hotel instead. Plan was to build a 7-story, 5-star hotel that was originally planned to be floated over the John Brewer Reef, about 70 kilometers off the coast of Townsville, Queensland, Australia. Once the designs were finalized, a Singapore-based company began construction of the novel hotel. Because of the sensitive nature of the proposed location, the hotel had to meet very strict environmental restrictions on its design. Non-toxic paint had to be used on the hull, and no discharge was allowed from the hotel into the sea. Sewage and liquid waste had to be treated on site, and any wastewater had to be dumped several miles off the reef. Any solid waste had to be incinerated, and other garbage had to be transported to the mainland for processing or disposal. The hotel was finally completed in 1987 and cost an eye-watering $42 million. However, a dispute around payment terms meant the finished floating hotel wasn't actually delivered until January 1988. The floating hotel was named as the Four Seasons Barrier Reef Resort. It had 200 rooms, discos, bars, a gym, a sauna, and 2 top-quality restaurants. Outside the hotel, it also came equipped with an actual floating tennis court as well. But this was just the beginning of the hotel's woes. After delivery, the hotel was struck by a cyclone and couldn't be opened for guests for another 2 months. When it did finally open its doors for business in March of 1988, it had missed the lucrative Northern Hemisphere winter tourist market in Australia. This cost the financial backers millions in lost revenue, so you can say it was not a good start. Was the floating hotel a success? You may have already guessed from the title. The hotel was loaded with problems, despite its unique qualities as a tourist attraction. Apart from its teething problems that we have already mentioned, it was not the easiest hotel to actually get to. It required a 70 kilometers ride on water taxis to actually get there in the first place. Any rough waters would seriously hamper the transport of tourists to the site. Worse yet, during choppy seas, guests would often feel seasick. One of the hotel's catamarans caught on fire, which used to shuttle supplies and guests from the mainland. Thankfully, there were no casualties, but the hotel's PR was seriously damaged. The enterprise also suffered from poor management, hapless marketing, and eventually, bookings began to dry up. Under such heavy financial pressures, the hotel eventually became too costly to operate. In just over a year, the ambitious floating hotel was foreclosed. The hotel itself was eventually sold to another company in Vietnam in 1989. Once the sale was completed, the hotel was towed to Saigon, almost 5,000 kilometers away. It was moored on the Saigon River and renamed the Saigon Floating Hotel. At the time, Vietnam was going through something of a tourism boom, and the unique qualities of the hotel filled the growing need for luxurious tourist accommodation. As an already packaged, ready-to-go facility, it seemed perfect. And the gambit paid off. It became a very popular resort and affectionately came to be known as, the floater. Sadly, further financial problems once again forced the hotel to close its business in time. It seems the hotel was cursed. Why was the Four Seasons Barrier Reef Resort moved to North Korea? The floating hotel's unique qualities caught the attention of another potential buyer. this time from North Korea. After changing hands once again, she was towed and moored at the Mount Kumgang tourist region of North Korea on the border with South Korea. It opened for business in 1998 and was aimed at tourists from South Korea. Her name changed again to Si Kumgang Hotel or Hotel Higumgang. Once again, the hotel enjoyed a period of success and became a popular tourist destination. But the hotel could not shake off its past. In July of 2008, a North Korean soldier accidentally shot dead a South Korean woman. She had unfortunately wandered into the restricted zone and paid the ultimate price. Following this incident, tours were immediately suspended. Where is the Four Seasons Barrier Reef Resort now? Following the latest tragic event in the hotel's history, no one has offered to buy it. The hotel still remains moored in place and has been closed since 2008. The hotel did make the news recently when the North Korean leader made some very unflattering remarks about the facility. Kim Jong-un was very displeased with slowly rusting Hulk. Following his visit, Kim Jong-un ordered that all backward and shabby facilities, like the floating hotel, be removed from the tourist resort immediately. This cast some very serious doubts about the once luxurious hotel's future. Most likely it will either need to be rebuilt, scrapped or sold as soon as possible.